I wanted to start with a small story. And we're traveling back a little bit in time in my life. And I am standing in front of a mirror. And I'm asking my mom, why can't my jeans close? Like my belly is just, it's popping out. Like you can see it, right? It's huge. And I see slight doubt in my mom's eyes. And she says it's, probably you're gonna have your period soon, or it's just hormones. So I switch into bigger jeans. I bike to school, and I feel terrible. And that evening, I'm lying in a bathtub, looking at that belly again, and it hits me. So me and my boyfriend race to the local pharmacy, and I end up 2 weeks before I turn 16, pregnant. And so I very often wonder what my life would have been like if I would have kept that baby. I would have had a 16-year-old now with the wrong guy, and I probably would have been a college dropout. But many generous philanthropists who supported our local nonprofit abortion clinic have given me the opportunity to live another life. And this other life, I have 3 beautiful children with the right guy. And again, it's philanthropy that helped me to realize that. It helped me to choose when and how many children I want to have. This is a story of a female philanthropist, and her name is Catherine. She was 78 when she met Dr. Pincus. And Dr. Pincus was working on the hormonal birth control pill. There was a pharma that was funding the research in the beginning, but they didn't see it was going to end up making any profit, so they decided to drop it. And Catherine stepped in. This is 1953, so philanthropists weren't particularly lining up to fund this kind of research. But Catherine did it with $100,000 a year, and 4 years later, we ended up with a pill on the market for menstrual disorders. And 2 years later, the indications were added: contraception. And here we are. Today, 100 million women use the contraceptive pill. And to me, that investment from Catherine sounds like an amazing philanthropic bet. And I want to test how good you are at making philanthropic bets today. So we're going to play a giving game. And in this giving game, there are a few rules. I'm going to make the world very easy for you. I'm going to reduce it to 4 programs, so you can pick to donate to 1 out of 4 programs. And I'm being very generous because I'm giving you all £1. And in the world of philanthropy, if you make good bets, £1 doesn't have to be little. It can achieve a lot. So £1 to one of these 4 programs. They're all set in sub-Saharan Africa. They try to tackle HIV or HIV-related diseases. And you can only pick 1. So I want to present the different programs to you. I'm going to ask kindly to pull them up to show them. So the first program you can pick is Kaposi sarcoma treatment, a clinical treatment for one of the most common cancers that you are quite likely to get when you have HIV, and that's life-threatening. The second program is a peer education program where sex workers educate each other on how they can prevent contracting HIV. The third program is a mother-to-child transmission program. So in this program, antiretroviral therapy is given to pregnant mothers to make sure their children don't contract HIV. And your third program is a community-based program, and that includes peer education, condom distribution, and strengthening the health system. So before you're going to do the whole login thing, take a second, and I'd love to see a raise of hands of people who immediately feel they know what the best bet is. Okay, so that's about maybe like a fifth of you who feel really pretty confident. Is there anyone who would have the ambition to motivate, to try to get everybody to hedge towards their program? No, is it too scary to motivate? It is pretty scary, huh? Do you want to? Yes, can we get the mic over here, or can you stand up? Let's motivate them all to give to the program that you know is the winning one.
So, in my humble opinion, I would definitely go for the community-based program, because that is a preventative program. So actually, if you get that embedded into a community, you are going to actually take care of each one of these different components above that. So I think as an investment, I would definitely see that my £1 would go on that program.
Thank you, and thank you for motivating. That is amazing. That sounds very logical, right? Is there someone who feels, okay, she got a chance, but I am betting on another program, then this is your moment to try to influence the crowd. Is there anyone who wants to persuade? Yes. Do you want to stand up, please, so we can see you?
Yeah, hey. I would bet on peer education for sex workers. It's more targeted, so it's more likely to be more effective per pound, and it's also preventative. So I think it's likely to be most effective.
Interesting explanation. Okay, great. Well, you're all getting a chance because you can pull out your phones now. So on the next screen, you're going to see the login details. So the pound is in your hand. Everybody has £1. So you can go to this website. Please do it. It's so boring if you don't play. So get out your phones, play, right? Pick something. So we're going to pick one of the 4 programs. We almost there? It's happening. Everybody's in? No. Yeah, you can't see. I know we can't see the poll, yeah. But I just wanted to make sure that everybody can get in and it's working. Okay, good. So can we show the next slide that we can see you guys in action? Okay, so the last doubters, please make your choice. No, do we have, wait, is this already the maximum number, Thea? We're not allowed, the skill doesn't allow us? Oh my God, then your destiny was in someone else's hands. That is terrible. You want to make this bet yourself, no? Okay. So it seems, no, I think the skill, like it increases if we're more enthusiastic. Well, let's see. Maybe this is kind of representative for the crowd. I'm going to show you the results, and if you wanted to bet something and you didn't get a chance, you can still tell yourself, I made the right bet, okay? So you'll be fine. Okay, so 4 programs. Can I just see a show of hands before I show you the results of the people who were doubting a lot, who found it extremely difficult to make a choice? Okay, I would say that's yeah, maybe a fifth or a fourth of the room. Okay, so we're going to keep that in mind. Well, here we go. What program do we want to make our bet on? So let's start with the first, the clinical treatment. No one picked that, probably because Founders Pledge has already enlightened this crowd. What were the reasons why you didn't pick it? Does anyone want to motivate why they didn't pick this program? Is there someone who says, come on, it's so obvious. Who would pick that? You're not going to pick that program. Why?
I didn't know what it meant.
You didn't know what it meant. So it was too unclear what we're doing. Clinical treatment. Yeah? Another reason? So you believe that it's probably more expensive to do a treatment instead of a prevention. So it's not a great bet. And it's actually a very expensive one. So we can show the results. And we have to spend, can we do I have a clicker? Yes, I have a clicker. Yes, that is great. So we have to spend about £40,000 to avert a DALI. So this DALI metric, if you don't know it, it's really worth wikiing the DALI metric. The DALI metric helps you to look at different health outcomes standardized to this thing called disability-adjusted life year, which is really helpful if you want to compare across programs with different types of outcomes, so a DALI. If we avert a DALI, we basically create a year in full health of one or multiple people. So we look at the price that we have to pay to avert a DALI, and then we can compare across these programs that have different types of effects. So relieving the suffering from this cancer is different than preventing HIV. So for 40,000, we have this DALI averted. In the UK, that would be quite good, right? That is, in our health spending, we find that actually pretty cheap for a DALI. But let's look at this one. The peer education for sex workers, £27 to avert a DALI. So that's way better, way better. For those very quick at math, 1,400 times better, 1,400 times more effective. Mother-to-child prevention, £143. And a community-based program, 0. What? So no effect. The program has no effect on HIV. So what can we learn? We see these not effective, quite cost-effective, most and least cost-effective programs. Well, maybe we can learn that we shouldn't be guessing. And we live in an era where we don't have to guess, because there's data. You could have had this data on your desk. And this game was way easier than real life. So in real life, you don't have 4 options. In real life, you have unlimited charitable options. In real life, it's not 1 out of 4 programs that don't work, but the ratio is very likely to be the opposite. 3 out of 4 are likely not to work. So in real life, we need to get that data on our desk. And luckily, because we live in this era of data, we can go to independent charity vetters like GiveWell, or we can consult the Founders Pledge research team and make sure that we know which programs work and which ones work 1,400 times better than the other ones. But, and I like to think about it like this, following the data might be a little bit like supporting the abortion clinic. For very little money, you get huge impact. But we also need people like Catherine. And when she was making that choice for the pill, she didn't have the data. She was in a place where it was very unclear whether the pill would ever even come to be. But if it would succeed, it would impact millions of women, like me, like many of us. So she was betting. And how to do that betting is something that we at Effective Giving think about a lot. We think about this approach, how to take a bet where we're very likely to have that massive impact. And there's a gold metaphor that helps me a lot to think about that. We want to stand in places, focus on problems where there's just huge amount of gold to dig up. And then we don't want to be in a place where many have been before us to take out the easy gold. And we need extremely effective tools to actually dig out the gold. That's what we're trying to do. So both the abortion clinic, follow the data, don't guess, and take bets, but calculated bets. So if you share our passion, which I know you do because you're in the right room today, to make those amazing bets, then join us on our journey to find out how we can maximize our impact in this world. Thank you.